You don't find a single prophet in the Holy Quran that who just goes on a pulpit, says few words, comes back, doesn't care about what's happening, other than that, and then just keeps going on a pulpit and comes back again and again. You don't see a single prophet in the Holy Quran doing that. My children cry for ice cream. This is how easy it is to make them upset. You could just take an ice cream away from them. And in this world, what you did to the children, you took their parents away from them. You took their siblings away from them. The kid goes playing in the street and comes back without any of his friends. He saw them all dying. So it's time to change our mentality, bring a revolution in the way we think. Try to question the system that has prepared this world for a country, a group of people to do whatever they want, while the same system would stop us from the simplest rights that we have over our kids. In the West, if you teach your children against LGBT, if you tell them something about it, if you teach them against zina, if you try to do their tarbiyah in an Islamic way, that's considered a crime. This is the definition of crime by you. You are so sensitive about children that you want to even protect them from their parents. Fine. Let's consider this is okay. But then what happens when a country kills more than 5,000, 6,000 children, and then you don't do anything? And where you're getting your money from, it's the same place where the money for those killings are going. So you got to question, this system that has prepared the ground for a country to do any kind of atrocity they want. And then it has limited us in expressing our views. It tells us that our views are barbaric. The way we think, the way we do things are barbaric. But then when you look at, its true face, you see that there's nothing more barbaric than what these guys are doing. When did we do like this? Even the extremist groups that were created amongst Muslims were funded by the same people who are either not saying anything against Israel at the moment or the West itself. They accept it multiple times. So it's time for us to question. Look, it's clear. How important are the words of Holy Quran? Are they even important? If you say yes, then why don't you pay attention to what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying clearly? What's the point of saying yes? The words of Quran are important, but then completely ignoring what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying clearly. Inna Allah, remember, indeed Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, la yughayyiru ma biqawmin. He's not going to change a situation of a group of people, a nation, hatta yughayyiru ma bi anfusihim, until they don't change things about themselves. So what does this mean? Does this mean that we have to sit there and just have patience until things get, resolved on their own? Then why this verse was revealed? This verse clearly means that, look, whatever you have done it, and now you got to bring a change. What is happening to you is the result of what you have done in past. You go and research, see where you went wrong. And I've posted that video about how we got impressed by the values that were thrown upon us by the West, and we kept taking it, without any filtering. We exposed our children to the media that they had given. Our children are completely open and, free to watch any cartoons that they're offering, the video games. What is Islamic about our life in this day and age? Imagine a guy decides to become healthy, and he starts going to a gym. He joins a gym. That's all he does. He joins the gym. He pays the fee. He goes there, lifts up a couple of dumbbells, okay? And then he talks to a couple of people over there and comes back. Same high caloric food, same sedentary lifestyle. He does the same things. What benefit is he going to get out of adding gym to his routine? It's just for the sake of the name. This is a kind of phrase that is used in other languages, that we're just doing it just to call it, call him someone who's going to gym. This is how our Islam is. We're just going for prayers. Rest of it, it's all the values and I still talk to some people, and when we speak together, we realize that the baseline of their values and what's good and what's bad is not the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's still the values that were taught by West, and they cannot escape it because that's what they've been hearing from their childhood. So even if they talk about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, even if they love Islam, even if they love Quran, they're just not able to come out of it because so if your values are defined by them, if what you do and what you don't do is defined by them, then how are you going to come out of the slavery? We have to start changing this, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, if you don't bring a change, I'm not going to bring a change, by thinking, by using our brains, our gray cells. This is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keeps telling in the Holy Quran. أَفَلَا يَتَدَبَّرُونَ الْقُرْآنَ. Why don't they do ta'aqqul in the Quran? Why don't they think about my verses? Why don't they use their brain to get to the conclusion? Even Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asked the mushrikeen to bring a reasoning. He says, okay, fine, go bring a reasoning. When Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam is telling his father that why is he worshipping the idols, he says, لِمَ تَعْبُدُ مَا لَا يَسْمَعُ وَلَا يُبْصِرُ وَلَا يُغْنِي عَنْكَ شَيْئًا. He's giving a reasoning. He's saying, look, father, the idol that you're worshipping, la yusma, it doesn't hear anything. Wala yubsuru, it cannot see anything. Wala yughni anka shay'a, it cannot give you any benefit. This is my logical question. So when something cannot give you any benefit, why to worship it? Why not to worship someone who's completely opposite? Someone who sees, who hears, and who can give you benefit. So this is how Anbiya alayhimus salam would convey their point, and this is what we're expected to do. We're expected to think. Stop trusting this world system after it could not stop one of its biggest agents from killing child after child. My children cry for ice cream. This is how easy it is to make them upset. You could just take an ice cream away from them. And in this world, what you did to the children, you took their parents away from them. You took their siblings away from them. The kid goes playing in the street and comes back without any of his friends. He saw them all dying. Or when my daughter got sick and she was admitted in the hospital, I saw what my son was going through. Just, he knew that she's going to get fixed. She's being treated. This is the world. You're still not going to wake up. You're still going to start, keep believing in the same things. You're still not going to pay attention that there might be something more worthy than it. Yes, if you have decided to stay as a slave, then fine. It's your decision. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala didn't say in Quran that everybody's going to wake up. He even said that وَمَا يُؤْمِنُ أَكْثَرُهُمْ بِاللَّهِ إِلَّا وَهُمْ مُشْرِكُونَ. Most of the people will not believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but they will be doing shirk at the same time. So it's just going to be a title. Okay? So if you have decided, please go ahead. But if you are worried, then just don't be worried without any results, right? You have to look around. You have to look at things that are different in this world. The Holy Quran tells us, he says, إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يُغَيِّرُ مَا بِقَوْمٍ حَتَّى يُغَيِّرُوا مَا بِأَنفُسِهِمْ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not going to change anything about a nation except if they bring a change amongst themselves. How does a change start? This is a question. A change in actions starts with change in mentality. And as we had decided today's discussion was going to be, yes, about hardworking. Yes. So this is one of the greatest concepts that Quran gives us. It says that you have to be a hardworking person in this world. The examples that the Holy Quran gives us are all these hardworking prophets. You see them managing an entire kingdom, fighting with a big tyrant. You see them constantly busy in different affairs. You don't find a single prophet in the Holy Quran that who just goes on a pulpit, says few words, comes back, doesn't care about what's happening, other than that, and then just keeps going on a pulpit and comes back again and again. You don't see a single prophet in the Holy Quran doing that. You see from Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam and his journey, which is described so beautifully in the Holy Quran, to Prophet Musa alayhi salam, to Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam, Sulaiman alayhi salam, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Look at all these prophets. They were constantly busy. They were doing hard work. So these are the examples that the Holy Quran is giving us, okay? And we learn that the importance of hard working in this world. And then you have a beautiful surah in the Holy Quran. I always tell the parents to teach this surah to their kids. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alam nashrah laka sadrak wa waza'na anka wizrak. Goes to the verse where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Inna ma'al usri yusra. Fa inna ma'al usri yusra. Twice he says it. That if you're looking for ease and relief and comfort, it's always with the hardship. What does it mean? What does it mean? Yani, if you want to have relief in this world, or any kind of relief, any kind of ease, you have to get it through hardship. Never think that this world is gonna give you relief without hardship. What is the next verse telling us? فَإِذَا فَرَغْتَ فَانْصَبْ. Even more clear than the previous verse, that once you're done with one work, faragta is farag, okay, you're done with one work. Fansab, start doing another work. Get involved in something else. Don't sit down. Don't waste your time. Okay, what is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala telling us? What is the message that we're getting from the Holy Quran? Read the Quran continuously. Even those who, we don't know if they were prophets or not, like Dhul Qarnayn, constantly going from one place to other place. فَأَتْبَعَ سَبَبًا. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving different responsibility. So this is a life that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is expecting from us in His book, the Holy Quran. He expects us to be hardworking. But the problem is, the world is also expecting us to be hardworking. Look, the way they're keeping us busy 24/7. We barely find any time for ourselves. What is the difference between the kind of hard work that this world is asking us for and the kind of hard work that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is asking us for? So this is going to be the end of the discussion, okay, inshallah, and then if you have any questions, you can ask me. So the kind of hard work that this world is telling us to do only has materialistic results, okay? It tells us that you do hard work and then you're either going to get money, or you're going to get a lot of fame in this world, or you're going to get a lot of power in this world. This is all materialistic. Why? Because material is your body. Anything that has only benefits for your body and for your worldly existence, this is materialistic. We always think that, money is the only thing. The monetary gains are only materialistic gains, or, the luxuries that we get in our life, that's the only materialistic. No, anything that gives the benefit to your body purely, that is materialistic. Why? Because your body is the end recipient of everything. After a while, you're going to die. Okay, we're all going to die. We're going to be put, we're going to be buried. And then after 100 years or 200 years, or maybe even earlier, we're not going to even exist in the form of our bones. And, the process of our recycling has probably already started. There's probably a tree that is growing from, what was remaining from us. So the world is offering you the things that is suitable for something that is going to vanish completely very soon. Imagine if you had a house that was going to explode in 10 years, would you keep your valuable things in that house? No, because it's going to blow up in 10 years. No matter how safe it is right now, after 10 years, after 20 years, after 80 years, it's not even going to be there. So you would try to find something that is more permanent. What's permanent is the life in hereafter, okay? So if you believe in that, okay, and we're not talking about that, but if you do, then your efforts must be something that would give you results for or most of the results for the hereafter. Okay? So therefore, the world, when it tells us to do hard work, we're being fooled by doing work that is only going to stay with us in this world. But when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us to do hard work, the benefits that we're going to be getting, inshallah, is something that's going to stay forever. Okay? So what does it mean? Should we stop our work? Should we quit our jobs? No. The kind of work that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is asking from you is the same that you're doing right now. To earn for your family, to fulfill your commitments that you have already made with your companies, with your jobs, everything else that you have made a commitment with. If you're a doctor, you have made a commitment with your hospital. Helping people with your skills, this is all that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants. But it's all about your intention. The intention is what's going to change everything. If your intention is for gaining something that is limited for this world, then that's all you're going to get. And we have verses for this from the Holy Quran, that whoever wants everything in this world, we will give him everything in this world. And then on the day of judgment, he will not have anything. But if your intention is that, Allah, Ya Allah, I'm working in this system, but I'm committed to you. If I'm doing my job as a doctor, or if I'm helping a company, or if I'm, doing some business, my intention is that I earn money to serve your servants, to provide sustenance for my family. This is all what you have asked me for. And this is my intention, and this is why I'm doing this. So now that your intention has changed, your work, the results of your work will change, and now your worldly work will be considered as worshipping, as ibadah. You're doing this for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the results will be very different, because now with this mentality, it will be very difficult to discourage you, to make you lose your hope. It'll be very difficult for anyone to discourage you from what you're doing, because you're not doing it for the sake of this world. If you're getting your benefits in this world, you're going to be happy. But if you're not getting it, you're not going to consider yourself as a loser. It has a very, very strong psychological effect. When, let's just say, if I'm doing my YouTube channel for the sake of followers and likes and dislikes, imagine if I don't get what I want to get. That's it. You feel like a loser. Yes, you can have a lot of strength and keep doing it, but at the end of the day, if you don't achieve it, what are you going to call yourself? But if your mentality is that you're doing it for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then look at Prophet Nuh alayhi salam. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala clearly says that after the longest time of preaching for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and guiding people, وَمَا آمَنَ مَعَهُ إِلَّا قَلِيلٌ, only few people believed in him. But he was a successful person. We still remember him. Right? So this is the concept of hard working in the Holy Quran. It is definitely encouraged, but with a different intention. You're doing your work for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Many things are going to change once you think in this way. The way you feel about it is going to change. And the way you look at your work, and the way you select what you want to do and what you don't want to do, it's all going to change, inshallah. So I think I'm going to end my discussion over here. And then if you have any questions, let me know. Jazakumullah khairah. Yeah, yes, sure.